Good evening, you little constipated communists, you. How are we all doing today? I wanted to do something relaxing today, and Enlisted, you know, is actually rather relaxing in all of its supposed hecticness. Shoot a game is nice, chill video game. Shoot a game is relaxing video game. Shoot a game Tier 5 American is extra relaxing, because all you do is sit in an aircraft and you bomb Germans all day, which is a surprisingly calming experience, really. Except on this map. I hate this map. I'm not a fan of this map at all, but such is life sometimes. God damn it. Nor did I check what kind of missions I had either. Okay, well, fine. And then the audio driver loads, slowly but surely. Don't worry, chat, it's just computers being computers. Computers are weird, chat. Entirely normal. All computers are weird. There's never been a non-weird computer.
Calling in artillery!
See? Silly chat. Now, I'm not sure I remember how to play this video game, which is going to be a problem. My ally has decided to set me on fire. Good start, good start. Excellent start. The M2. The Stinger. It is what many people in this video game of ours would refer to as a fair and balanced weapon. And it is a fair and balanced weapon. If you're assuming that you're fighting, that you're playing a game where the main characters are Terminators from that video game and movie franchise. In that case, the M2 is an entirely fine, fair, and balanced weapon. In any other situation, however, it is not. In any other situation, it's a goddamn ridiculous gun, but luckily we are playing a Terminator video game right now, so we don't need to worry about that. Speaking of, the Terminator Netflix anime was released the other day. I've downloaded it, I've watched a bit of it, I hate it so far. I really actually do hate it, because it's one of those shows where, you know the show, where it's like, oh, why does humanity deserve to be eaten by the robots? Why? I just don't understand. It's like, well, you see, it's because humans are the only species that does violence. And because we're the only people who does violence, we deserve to be eaten by the robots. It's like, hold on there. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think humans... Oh, okay, he's gotten sick of being camped by the M2, so they're camping back. How very unfortunate for me.
Soldier, return now.
Yep. Yeah, he's just sitting there pointing his gun at the... Luckily for me, he can't point his gun at everything at once, so that's nice.
Artillery!
May I perhaps, have a bomb pack thrown over there, maybe? Oh, don't put your head up. You see, if you put your head up, then my bomb will bounce off your head. And then we will all have a bad and unfortunate day. Oh no, the tank is shooting at me too. Yeah, we'll just... Nope, there he still is. Can I get an aircraft now? I don't want to be an aircraft now. I don't want to be on the ground anymore. I hate this map. I hate this map a lot. No? Still can't? I hate this map. I hate this map a lot. I hate this map. I hate this map more than any other map in the fucking video game. I really do. I hate this map. It is filled with shrubbery. And shrubbery is universally bad in Enlisted. Because shrubbery means that if you're playing against someone who simply places all of his graphical settings on low, he will see you from the other end of the map, whilst you will not see him. Worse still, the AI does not understand what shrubbery is. AI will see you regardless. Oh, we will add in a little bit of a concealment modifier to its chance of hitting you, but the AI can see you, regardless of any quantity of concealment in between you and the AI. As far as the AI is concerned, concealment is literally a non-existent entity. And there's a lot of them just sitting over there now. Like that, for example, where there is a solid piece of concealment in between me and the enemy, a body in this case, and the AI is simply like, no, I don't care, because I see through that. Murgler's been around for 2 months, thank you very much, sir. Congratulations on your new African Prince art. Your royal line has truly been enriched. Fortunately, she is not a part of the royal language. Oh, enemy bombers, really now, that's good. She has been kicked out of the royal family quite some while ago, in fact. She is not a royal. Even though a lot of the newspapers use the title of princess, she does not actually allow, she doesn't have it. She's not actually allowed to use that title. She still does, because it's very, very profitable. But fortunately, she has been disavowed a long time ago. And so, Firewater, here's money for Dustborn, but how much for V and Lumi to call out on your channel? I vastly prefer that over Dev. Well, V can't be awake anymore. At all. He has been forbidden to do so. Lumi's a possibility, though. Lumi probably comes along for all kinds of stuff. Now, you mentioned something about enemy bombers. There they are. Lovely. This has been a snail problem ever since War Thunder. Gaijin has just decided to never actually fix the problem of the shrubbery. Nobody quite knows why. People keep requesting they fix the shrubbery problem, and Gaijin just kind of looks at those people. Aggressively, angrily, hatefully. 3 bombers, not too bad, not too bad. Tragically, the tank was destroyed before I could get to it, but 4 kills. I'll take it.
Control point Charlie is under our control.
Hey, I'm sure Lum Lum would enjoy a shooter game. Actually, I don't know. All I know about Lum Lum is that she plays Smite. I know that. Lum Lum enjoys Smite, for some reason. To be fair, I enjoyed Smite, so, no. Oh, sure, I can get Lum Lum involved in that at some point. As for poor Dev, he is but a Dev. That's just what he's like. Uh-oh. Yep, see. Yep, that is an actual fighter. Let's see, does he outturn me? If it's a BF-109, he probably does. Okay, he went low. That's good. That was a very, very optimistic burst of fire. Alright. You tried to scissor me. No, you just killed yourself because you realized that you couldn't win. Okay. Wonderful. I do like people like that. It's a very War Thunder-esque thing to do. It's like, oh my god. I can't beat this person. Time to crash myself into the ground and get into a new aircraft. That does happen. That does happen with a frightening bit of frequency. Ooh, tank. No. Damn it. Oh, that was wasted. I have no idea what Dev did, and at this point I don't want to ask. Dev just does things. See, he had a recent take on Twitter. What was it? What is your power to compel a doctor to give service? I think that was it, because it was over the, can doctors refuse to treat people who are vaccinated? I think that was the thing. Which sounds mildly retarded, so take it with a grain of salt. But his question then was, what power do you have to compel a doctor to treat you? Well, that power is extraordinarily simple. I pay taxes. There you go. There is my power to compel any doctor to do whatever the fuck I want to. Simple as. See, there is no individual choice in employment. I think that was Dev's point, like, oh, but you have individual choice. No, you are an employee. There exists absolutely no individual choice whatsoever for an employee. Beyond quitting your job, of course. You have the power to simply stop being an employee. That is a power you have, but beyond that, you have none. Because you're being paid to do a thing. Simple enough, really. You can't argue free association when you're arguing socialism. I mean, we're not even arguing free association. We're arguing you're employed. It's really that simple. And the government, of course, cannot discriminate against anyone who is a citizen of the nation. Like, you're not allowed to do that. If one citizen has access to medical care, then another person must have access to that same medical care for very obvious reasons. Rukali, there is a 1984 Marsok path in Equestria de War.
Control point Bravo is ours.
But why would I need to know that?
Need enemy vehicle coordinates.
I tell you, I had a little clump in my fucking throat this morning as I saw there was an update for Hearts of Iron 4. I was like, do not make me replay everything. And it didn't, thank God. Thank God it did not. Hello there, Mr. Half-Track. Booyah. Wasn't even a half-track. It was merely a belted truck. Taxpayer-funded health systems? No, it works in every other health system because you're the one paying the doctor. If you don't have a taxpayer-funded health system, then the doctors, of course, work as private entities, right? And if there's a private entity, and you're paying him, then he needs to do whatever the hell you tell him to do. Right, I have a fighter directly behind me. He's probably been sitting on my ass for the last 15 minutes. Nothing that can really be done at that point. Now, you could argue that they might have the ability to refuse service as a private individual, or in this case, more like a corporate individual, really. But again, you run into kind of the same blocker. Do you have the right to do that? Because I don't think you have the right to do that in America. Remember the whole bake the cake thing? We apparently decided that you don't have the right to deny service in America. So, clearly, you're screwed, regardless. Not to mention, it is also still illegal to discriminate, and this is obviously a form of discrimination as well. Like, it has nothing to do with free association, in my opinion. It has to do with the letter of the law in these cases. See, I'm even more than happy for the bake the cake thing to be a real thing. It's like, okay, yep, you are providing a service. You're then like, oh, my religious beliefs? I don't think I care, actually. I have arrived fully at the point where I do not believe I give a fuck about your religious belief. I believe that you offer a service, and I believe that you will offer that service. Quite simple as. That seems to be the easiest and fairest solution to all of this. Because I don't want Muslims to be able to deny service to Christians, because that is against their religion or whatever. Oh, bullets. There's also the point the chat makes there too, the Hippocratic Oath. If you are bound by the Hippocratic Oath, then, well, again, screw you. Alright, well, let's put down a couple of bombs there. We're being shot at from over there and over there, right? This is not a great position. Mainly again, because this is a very large, very open map where there's basically nowhere to hide. So there's probably a tank over there. Seriously? Seriously, AI? I told you to go hide in the goddamn hole, and you decide not to go hide in the goddamn hole. You decide to go somewhere else. Oh, was that a fucking car? I'm pretty sure that was a goddamn car that just ran past. Yes, it was a car. Okay, well, I've got a machine gun, in case you were wondering. There. Ah, little bastard. Okay, so I was hoping that I could hear him walking around. So I think like, okay, you go the other way around. I'm gonna go hide in the corner. But I got distracted at the last second, because if I'd just hidden in the corner, he would have died the moment he stepped around that corner, because I'd already prepared that with a bomb. Wanna go back in the air, hate being on ground on this map, hate this map a lot, hate this map a lot. Unfortunately, the other people in aircraft know what they're doing as well. Very unfortunate. I hate it when people know what they're doing. No. Don't like this gun.
We've lost control point Alpha.
Right, rocket artillery. So if I watch again, you can keep trying. Other doctors still won't treat you, but if you force doctors like socialism does, they'll just do it like when they suffer on communism, first come, first served, then vacation. Well, yes, of course, it's first come, first served. There are medical lines. Now, those medical lines must be determined by need. If there's a dude who's like, my toe hurts, and there's another guy who's like, I have got a gunshot wound. Again, the Hippocratic Oath makes sure that you can do no harm. In this case, you're obviously doing harm if you treat the person with the stubbed toe before the guy with the gunshot wound. Like, I think, honestly, we've got this particular moral conundrum pretty well fucking covered already. And whatever we haven't got covered by the Hippocratic Oath, we can easily enough cover by simply saying, don't discriminate. I mean, it's really not hard. It doesn't sound like a particularly complicated problem to me. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. This is what we call a swap kill, where he was like, I died. Then he went over there. It's like, oh boy, I haven't loaded in yet. I died. Then he goes over there. Oh boy, I haven't loaded in yet. And I die. Yes, it's unfortunate. Why is YouTube not tracking Superchats today?
Fire is the answer.
Right, if I miss something, yell at me, because currently my viewer activity thing is not actually registering anything at all, so yes. They are about to retreat. We'll make it worse for them by just putting down a whole ass load of mines here. That'll make it really gay for them whenever they decide to come back. There. Tremendous quantity of homosexuality. What is this? Oh, this is the Johnson. I remember kind of liking this and then immediately starting to hate it. I feel like I missed something with the Johnson. Oh, hello. Galileus, I had little to no time to catch up with your streams recently, which I am making you accountable for, which means you guessed is Dustborn. Suffer for my entertainment. Very well, I will add that all together the moment I'm out of this match, because for some reason my YouTube is just not tracking anything right now. And Haplomag, so why was this mildly dumb take enough that he can't be online? Oh, that? I don't know. Is he not online? I thought he was streaming just a short while ago. Now, don't stand out in the open, because remember, the AI can see you no matter where you are.
We need artillery support.
Copy. Confirming fire.
Alright, judging by the... Ah, yes, there's a sniper on the other end of the map, of course. Another reason why I hate this game. This map, by the way, there's no cover anywhere, because all of the cover is concealment, and concealment, as we've already gone over, doesn't actually exist. Also, rocket barrage is pretty cute. I am not convinced by its efficiency yet. I feel like I do worse with the rocket barrage than I do with just regular good old-fashioned artillery, but maybe that's just observational bias. Who knows? And Sandoom, do the Japanese use traps frequently, or what is considered dishonorable? The Japanese did not do a whole lot of, well, how do I put it? Subterfuge in their warfare? One of the things with the Japanese is they did not consider in any way ranged weaponry to be dishonorable. In fact, they actually considered ranged... Same fucking sniper. I have no idea where this sniper is, that's the problem. They did not consider ranged weaponry to be at all dishonorable. In fact, they considered it to be quite the opposite. Honorable, instead. The bow, for example. The bow was considered to be a very honorable weapon, and to be fair, the Japanese longbow was absolute garbage and required a great deal of expertise to use with any degree of efficiency whatsoever, because it was a terribly designed weapon. It was just shit. It was actually just shit. Poorly balanced, shit all power for what it was, particularly considering the draw distance and the draw weight. Awful, awful, awful longevity. Yeah, it was just kind of terrible. Goddamn little Owens. Useless little things. Speaking of useless things, what did the Battle Pass actually add this time around? We'll use that to buy time whilst I look in at the thing. Right, the Dustborn one did wait, what? Oh, I'm so fucking confused right now. So, the Dustborn one tracked a $30 donation, but I'm pretty sure 1,000 check-ins is more than $30. Why are you doing this to me? Hold on, everything is breaking. Oh, maybe it isn't. 44.15. There you go. Okay, so it is it tracking now? It is finally tracking now. Okay, goddammit. I need to keep a track on this goddamn thing, because it keeps derping itself. Disco is working on fix that system, but I think this is actually YouTube being dumb, because YouTube is... Oh no, it's tracking. God help me. Kill Arch. And Konoda, may you suffer for your sins, Dustborn. See, you added a hashtag. I'm pretty sure it's not going to notice that now. It doesn't like hashtags. Well, I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think it notices hashtags. You just need to put in Dustborn. None of this fancy hashtag nonsense. Why would we need fancy hashtag nonsense? I have trained the chat to think wrong. And Draconis, we will accept Draconis' invite. Okay, what do we have? We have a Bren Mark 1, which, how do you aim this thing? I guess it has an AA scope. 100-round drum magazine Bren with... That is an interesting sight arrangement right there. I mean, it's a 100-round MG, which is not bad. It's pretty kind of good, honestly, but I imagine this thing must be the world's most painful thing to actually aim, ever. Pavisi SVT. Italian self-loading rifle. Disgusting. A fucking Murata 22. That's basically a musket right there. No. And Yazikov. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that is adorable. Oh, I love that. Oh, that is cute as fuck. Oh, I'm purchasing that. I don't even care if it's good. I'm purchasing that. That is just... That is adorbs. Right, anywho. That is just adorbs. I love that. It's a little Uzi. It's a little compact Uzi. A little compact Uzi. That's pretty adorable. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Ugh. Wait. Hold on. There, and see... I guess we'll start at the top to invite people. Oh, and yes, Zero Firewaters, two as well. Ah, there we go. Almost forgot about those. The Yakutov goes in the pistol slot. You have a quarter second of Bert as your backup. Well, I quite like having a quarter second of Bert as my backup, though. That sounds good. Did that just not go through? I thought I clicked that one. Maybe not. Athenop is not there. No prop. Is he no prop there? He is. Okay, nice. As high a rank as you can go, lads. And Santium, did you ever hear about the ghost of Bataan, Arthur Vermuth? I heard he was knocked out during a battle before being captured by the Japanese. He was treated slightly better because he didn't surrender. Well, there you go. It's very simple to be treated well by the Japanese. And yes, it didn't add it, did it? There. Added. It's very easy to be treated well by the Japanese. You just need to not surrender. Simple as, you know? Easy peasy. The Japanese are not that inhuman, after all. They're actually rather good people, when it comes down to it. Except for the torture and the abuse and all that. And to finish the trap thing, no, I don't think they used a whole lot of traps, because that would not necessarily be seen as dishonorable, but it would be seen as ineffective, frankly. The Japanese were also kind of terrible at engineering and mechanisms, frankly. They were just kind of shit at it. They never really got very good at anything particularly complex, if I'm to be entirely honest. They were far more interested in things looking pretty than being effective. Their castles are the perfect exemplifier of this. Japanese castles are garbage. Absolute, unironic, unrepentant garbage. Just once I'd like to play a video game that had the, oh hey! Yay, P47D. Just once I'd like to play a video game that actually has the ability to record the game instead of the entire screen again. Oof. But I have not heard about the Ghost of Bataan, no. Actually, Hyperdimension Bliss does bring up a good point. They were actually rather impressive for a Far Eastern island. That is actually true, yes. Considering their geographical location and considering that everybody else basically at most reached the level of Polynesian islanders, in that regard, yes, the Japanese were actually fairly competent in what they were doing. That is true. Smattering of rockets, which didn't really hit anything, which makes me kind of sad. Now, if you're seeing any tanks, please do tell Arch about the tanks, because Arch would love for the tanks to go away. Arch doesn't like tanks, and he has a mission to kill them, specifically. Oh.
Our forces are in position.
Ooh. Really? That didn't get anything. Out of practice with the fat old P-47. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. Out of practice. Yes, yes. And the Settlers was 74.88 Canadian. Time to play Dustborn. Anyway, any book that you're reading right now. In fact, I just finished a book. I think was it Anthony Bevis? Spanish Civil War book. Quite enjoyed it, though I will say that Beaver falls for a common trap amongst historians, in that he is introducing too much of his own sense of morality into the history he is telling, even whilst he continuously says that he's not. He goes like, oh, you know, I shan't make any moral judgment, but the nationalists were terrible people. Beaver. Bevor. Bevor. Bevor? Bevored. Ooh. Better, but still not good. I hear aircraft noises. Yep, there you are.
Heresy is the question. Fire is the answer.
Okay, they're both turning back towards the carriers, so I'm not going to go over there. We're going to drop the bomb. It's going to hit nothing, which I'm amazed and surprised by, frankly. And we are going to zoom away. Well, that aircraft just kind of fell out of the sky over there. Damn, we're up against a Japanese team that knows what it's doing, which means we're dead. We're so dead. We've also got the dumbest and gayest game mode here as well, the Capture 2 points game mode, which is exactly the same as the Capture 1 point game mode, except you need to capture double the points, which means it is twice as difficult. Again, for some reason, Gaijin just hates their video game players. I don't know why. We are going to get so fucking stomped here, it's not even funny. Because 2 capture points means twice as hard, and their team is blatantly better with like twice the kills, so... I'm also failing to find any good concentrations of Japanese people to rocket and bomb, which I don't like. Jesus, another single pass, man. The worst part about the double thing is also that it scatters the enemy, which I despise. I like it when the enemy's all clustered around on one point, because if they're all clustered around on one point, you can kill a lot more of them with rockets. Awful. Oh. Well... I was about to say, is that an enemy aircraft? It doesn't matter because he ran himself straight into the ground. I don't know what else I'd like to read, actually, after that one. Fuel 0.00. I mean, my engine certainly sounds like it's got fuel. I don't have a fuel leak that I can see. I don't think any. I know. Game. Alright, we've captured one of the points, which is of course entirely irrelevant because you need to capture both of the points. And we are swiftly losing that point again. There we go, it's a little bit tastier. A slight bit juicier hit, but not enough.
The enemy has started capturing the control point.
That is almost certainly friendly. Yes, friendly.
Our forces are taking the control point.
Whoa. That almost tore open my belly there on a church spire, but such is life. What else is new? And there's a mobile spawn point over there somewhere, which I would really love to kill. That bullet lodged tightly in my radiator is causing me some slight heating issues, but...
By the enemy. We've taken the control point.
Doesn't matter if you take the control point. Taking the control point is utterly and completely irrelevant in this game mode. Maybe I'll try reading something non-historical for once in a while. Something fictional. Fiction. I almost forgot what fiction is like.
Enemy vehicle position!
I don't think that Dorito is correct. That seems to be a misleading Dorito. How on God's good earth did not hit anything? I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, I'm dead. Yep. If there's somebody behind you in this game, the game is pretty much over. There's very little maneuvering you can do in a P-47 when somebody's behind you.
Our forces are in position.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, well, we're gonna spend the next 15 minutes climbing then. Do not touch the mouse when you are doing a carrier takeoff. If you do, you're going to either run off the side of the boat and drown, or you are going to run into the side of the command aisle and, well, not drown, but tear your wing off and or explode. Either way, it's not going to be a good thing. This will end with us seizing not the first point. This will end with us seizing nothing whatsoever, because that is literally the definition of this game mode. This is the game mode that the game gives you when it needs you to lose a match for some weird rearward reasons. Cramnola, purge the heretics. Hashtag Dustborn. Why are we hashtagging things? There's no need to hashtag things. I really want to turn in to try and deal with that guy, but I do not have the speed or the altitude to engage in any kind of a dogfight right now. Yeah, look at that. Look at how he went vertical. I need a lot more time getting altitude and speed. I think he might have just been killed by one of my...
Our team started capturing a control point.
Was that a friend? Is that an ally?
The enemy is trying to take the control point.
That one crashed. Judging by the direction you're heading in, I would wager you're a friendly, but... Yes, you are guaranteeably a friendly, because otherwise the fleet would be shooting at you by now. I think Dustborn is funded now. I'm 98% sure, because we only had like $50 left, and Settlers 74 Canadian almost certainly got that one. And yeah, this is why I'm just staying in an aircraft, by the way, because matches like these are pointless matches. These are absolutely, like, legitimately pointless matches. Unless you have like a really amazing team, these are almost guaranteed losses from the get-go. Because you need to capture twice as many points against exactly the same opposition as ever. And in a random team scenario, you will never manage to get people to hold one point with like half your team whilst the other goes off to grab the other point, you will always be zerging around the place. So you capture one point, and everyone will then think, rather naturally, that they need to move on to capture the second point. Which will be just as heavily guarded, because you're still in a, attacking a defensible position, because, that's the balance of the map. And you'll leave everything behind on the previous point, which means you'll lose it, and that just kind of continues on like that. I kind of would like to reread Grant, honestly, the autobiography of General Grant, because that one was quite interesting. That was a surprisingly good read, made Grant one of my favorite historical characters after it. And made me legitimately dislike Robert E. Lee, who had previously been somebody I quite enjoyed. Like, he sounds like a cool guy. I'd like to get that fucking thing also, but nobody's spotting targets today. AA gun. Maybe I should find a nice biography about Robert E. Lee, actually, and read that. See if that might change my perspective. Also, R. Gray tipped $5.16 over on Streamlabs. Hi, Arch. Giving out that Witcher cash to have you play good RPG. Also, did you look up Thaumaturge, where you use demons almost like Pokemons? I did not look that one up now. That does sound kind of cute, though. Because, like, one of the things that really turned me off about Robert E. Lee was how he treated Grant when he was surrendering. Like, he treated Grant as if he was inferior to him. It's like, you didn't really beat me. I didn't really lose, etc. But he did lose. Now, did he lose fairly? No, he didn't. Because Grant had like 10 times his manpower, 10 times his resources, etc. But Grant was the first Northern State General to actually use those resources. See, the big reason why the Southern Confederates managed to hold out as well and for as long as they did was, well, largely due to the incompetence of Northern generals, who didn't know how to fight a large-scale war. Instead, they continuously tried to fight a battle, or at absolute most, a campaign, like crossing over into Virginia for the 3rd time, running into a dug-in, prepared enemy defender and getting their asses kicked for the 3rd time. Whereas Grant, he didn't fight a campaign. Grant did not fight a battle. Grant fought a war, which was meant that he would attack the southern states all over the place. He would launch multiple wide offensives, knowing that the Confederacy would not have the manpower, the materiel, or the logistical capabilities to defend everything. In other words, he would just be like, well, this is not a fair game. I am in possession of vastly more military resources, vastly more men, and vastly more industry. I'm just gonna cheat. And so he did. And here's the thing, Nobody should ever fight a fair war. Only a retard fights a fair war.
Our boys are capturing the position.
Any enemy fighters going to try and go for those bombers to maybe give me some more points? No? No. This is going to sadly be a particularly sad round with very few points earned. Tragic. Ugh, 23 kills, 1,000 points. Oof. Kind of a wasted round, but that's what you get when you do stuff like this. And yes, by the way, the bombers do just run into the mountains. For some reason, the developers didn't make the bombers just fly a tad bit higher on this map. So they just run into the mountains. God only knows why. And my prediction is entirely correct, that nothing would be captured, because this is a terrible game mode. I have been complaining a lot about Enlisted today. See, the first one, because I hate that map. And I don't know if you can veto maps. And secondly, this game mode. I never see this game mode, and that's a good thing. Nobody likes this game mode. I would actually prefer the tug of war game mode to this, and the tug of war game mode is awful. But this falls into that weird developer mentality where if you have a good gameplay loop, you need to break that gameplay loop and give the players something less enjoyable. This is one of those problems like strategy games, for example, where you have a good strategy gameplay loop that people are enjoying. And then the developer is like, well, but people might be bored of the good gameplay. What if we added in a stealth mission that we have no mechanics for making competent, that we haven't really designed in any way to allow it to be fun or engaging or interesting or balanced or anything like that? But it'll be variety. No. 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 Or when the role-playing game suddenly decides, but maybe we need puzzles in our role-playing game instead of simply turn-based combat and a story. No, you need none of these things. You've already developed a good actual core loop. You don't need to worry about it. In this case, the core loop is you attack a point, then you attack the next point. Simple. Making it twice as hard for the attacker doesn't improve the gameplay loop in any noticeable way. See, now you can do it, but you need to be way better at making the game if you're going to do that. In fact, chat mentions the next example, Age of Mythology. Age of Mythology has gimmick levels, but it usually does the gimmick levels fairly well. It does them for a fairly short amount of time, and it usually moves them out of the way fairly quickly as well. It doesn't let them overstay their welcome, which is vital. And with the remaining 70 Canadian, that absolutely does cover the remainder of Dustborn. Yay. Yay. Wow. Dustborn. You know, part of me... where's the celebration thingy? There you go. Whee. Part of me is morbidly curious. Part of me is genuinely, actually morbidly curious if it's going to be as bad as it looks. If it's going to be as seemingly obvious a right-wing psyops as it looks from all of the gameplay and the screenshots. I mean, I feel like it can't possibly be. It can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. I'm sure it'll actually not be that bad. Yes. It's not cope. That's probably just reality. Oh yes, this is a good map. I like this map. This is actually a nice one. This is a nice one. Sadly my favorite aircraft not available. Boy. And M2 Stinger it is then. Ooh, Alan Smith still has an M1941 Johnson LMG for some reason. Probably the one I got for free. I should give him the 100-round Bren. Yes. Though if it is a psyop, the developers are doing a damn good job of making it seem like it's kind of not. They had a thing just a few hours ago, I think, actually, where they put out a statement going like, we wanted to make a good game and a thought-provoking game for our community. It's like, well, one, you don't have a community. You have, at most, 20 people, as the majority of people playing your game aren't actually playing your game for any reasons of gameplay. They're playing it because it'll help their YouTube channels. Unironically. If your company went belly up this instant, developers of Dustborn, your greatest contribution to world history will be in a nice little boost to the metrics of YouTubers, which, to be fair, that is a good achievement. That is something worthwhile. You can be, like, oh, now that is a nice artillery barrage light right there. Oh, that was just, yes.
Our forces are in position.
That was brilliant. I hear a tank. Really? Really? We've got a little shit guarding this far on the left, do we? Okay, tank over there. Right, we've set up a nice little flanking position. There's the tank. Oh, it's already been knocked out. Alright, nice. Right, back to this SMG. SMG. Well, you know what? Yes, no, kind of SMG. This is sort of kind of an SMG. It might not look like one, and I understand if you don't think that this appeals to be an SMG. I understand if visually you don't believe this is a submachine gun. I get it, but it is. It is absolutely a submachine gun. See? See that? You can't do that with a machine gun. This is obviously a submachine gun. Like, no machine gun in the world can do that. You know? That is not a thing that you can do with a machine gun. You cannot simply stand up and fire the machine gun full burst and worry about nothing. That is not something you do with a machine gun. You can do that with a submachine gun, which is why I yet again point out to you that this is a submachine gun. Silly chat, dumb chat, foolish chat. Now I will grant you, it's a submachine gun with a pretty hefty magazine. That I will grant you.
Put the ammo box down.
I would like an ammunition box. May I have an ammunition box, sir? Please? Please. 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 I would like more ammunition for my submachine gun. Please? Please? No? Alright, I'll have to make do with a rifle then. You know, part of me loves this gun, part of me hates it. I hate it because I feel like it's got that weird Garand aim, which I don't like. Like, it has too many things on it, and it confuses me. I don't like guns with lots of, like, weird little things sticking out of them and stuff. It upsets me greatly, and I'm not a fan of it at all. On the other hand, it does have a nice little controllable recoil, which is always good. And on the other hand, it also is just like one of those guns.
Pulse in artillery.
Artillery, fire!
AI, please. Stop trying to save the enemy. I would like to shoot the enemy over there. It's one of those guns that somebody looked at the M1 Garand and thought to themselves, alright, yeah, this is a pretty solid concept right here. What if we made it automatic? And that's what they did. And that's a nice way of thinking. I would like to encourage more people to do that. Because when people think like that, you get stuff like the minigun, for example. The minigun was created largely because the US Army looked at a looked at a Gatling gun, and they thought to themselves, alright, the primary limiting factor on a Gatling gun's rate of fire is how quickly you can turn the handle. Fair enough. But technology has advanced since we invented this thing. What would happen if, theoretically, conceivably, we put an electrical motor? I have turned off this thing's automatic ability somehow. How did I do that? Ah, it was the H key. There you go. Theoretically, if we were to place an electrical motor on this thing, what would happen? Well, as it turns out, what would happen is quite simply that you would increase the rate of fire of the thing by a lot. Also, this is a very shitty position because you can't hide from the AI. The AI will see you. And we are going to eat that over there, and we're going to kill that man because he came out of the bushes. Silly man. He should have remained where he was, but he didn't. I have one bullet. Let's not go in there with one bullet. Whoa! Get stuffed. Oh, you little bitch. You literally dropped an anti-personnel mine before you died, didn't you? You little whore. Actually, not even little whore. That's a fairly large whore that does something like that. It's a fairly vast whore, actually. A sizable whore. Huge whore. But I want to be in the air. Why can't I be in the air? I especially want to be in the air now. Oh, come on, you shot me through the fucking wall. Which will happen quite a lot in this video game. Everything is shaking. Fucking AI. Oh, the AI's ability to fucking yeet you with melee. See, the developers realized that the people could abuse the game's notice system. I was talking about this before, but back in the day, the AI only attacked a target based on basically a detection threshold. So if you fired a weapon, then the AI would basically have like a pip of detection, like, oh, I heard a sound. If you were walking, the AI would have a smaller pip of detection, like, oh, I think I can hear a sound, but you know, it's nowhere near as conclusive as a gunshot. You know, simple stuff like that makes sense. And it would also take into consideration like sight. If the AI could see you, the AI would be more likely to try and shoot you if you were in front of it, for example. There would also be a couple of other things, like if it was in a heightened state of alertness, it might react more quickly and so on, but basically it was trigger points. Well, people realized that if they kept their trigger points to a minimum, then they could run into a room filled with AI and knife all of them before the AI had built up enough danger points to realize that it was under attack. Because you weren't making any noise. The knife was a silent kill weapon, so you could kill tons of AI without the AI ever noticing that you were killing them. This was very dumb. This was extraordinarily dumb, as you saw people run into rooms armed with only a knife and kill entire squads again and again and again. The developers thus decided to fix this problem by making it so that the AI would pretty much always, automatically, unavoidably stab any player that steps near it with a thousandth of a millisecond precision. Which is where we are at now. Also, the rest of my squad got murdered. Probably crossing the open field behind me, which is unfortunate. But hey, we got the point, so I guess that's fine. That is a tank. Please, aircraft, kill tank. Anyone behind us?
Fire is the answer.
Nice. The one and only downside of the M2 Stinger, in case you're wondering, is that it doesn't have infinite ammunition.
Set up an ammo box!
That is the one and only drawback of this thing, is that it does run out of ammo. Everything else is just peachy. It has... Are you gonna make me an ammo box? Please make me an ammo box. My god, thank you. Shit.
Reloading!
Well, thank you, but I'm also now stuck inside of the ammo box for all eternity. Well, shit. Thank you, but fuck you as well. Alright, I'm going to now need to destroy the ammo box that I just asked for. If I wish to ever leave. I am sorry. The M2, best the Stinger. Event weapon, by the way. Best weapon in the game. I thought that would be the 30 cal. The other 30 cal, which is the mainline tech tree, that was the best weapon in the game. Now it's this one. There's simply no doubt about it. It has a ludicrous rate of fire, as you can see. It is unbelievably accurate. It is surprisingly easy to control, especially for a weapon with this rate of fire. It has great damage, and, crucially, it has just enough sway on it.
They got me!
Because you might think, there's a tank over there, that's the problem. Oof, this is not a good place to be. Yeah, he was just camping there. I knew that was likely to happen, because the Germans are going to be inside just camping at the windows. Something I never had the ability to do. I never have the patience to camp openings, like so many other people seem to enjoy. But the sway is actually very important, because the sway gives you that area of effect. If it all simply just shoots one place, then, well, you're gonna screw yourself over, because you're only gonna be hit one place when you need to be hitting an entire squad-sized target. But with the sway of the M2, it somehow seems to just gravitate towards more and more Germans. Which is, of course, beautiful. It's exactly what you want from a weapon. Also, I have seen the donations. I'm gonna get to it. I'm just busy and distracted. I'm gonna try. Okay. Once I return to base now. Okay, where are the Germans? Are the Germans there? I don't know. Yes! Yes, the Germans were there. Thank you, Dorito-kun. So, Jard, what did you ever think of Phoenix Point? Don't think the last time I don't think the last time I put through a €5 and €2 towards Witcher, it was counted. It might not have. We are troubleshooting the thing. Yeah. And an enemy aircraft is following me, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. Well, I would have been dead there regardless, because that was just an enemy aircraft following my ass. God damn it. They had the poor little aircraft for such a short amount of time, too.
Our forces are taking the control point.
Well, at least we're doing fairly well. That's always nice. Sometimes the problem appears to be that it cannot differentiate efficiently between capital letters and small letters. So currently it reads small letters, which means that if you send a donation with capital letters, it might not count it. We're fixing that. We're adding in a patch so that it will count both small and large letters, which it used to do in the past. So we're just reverting that part of the code. Should be fine soon enough.
Yes.
Come on, boys. There's just one control point left.
Enemy tanky wanky.
Okay. You have to hold that point.
Right, squad. You wait here. Whilst I try to find out if that's the kind of tank that I can actually hurt or not. Well, yes, it was a short-barreled Panzer IV, so I could have hurt that, but somebody else hurt it already. So, good for them. Even though I kind of wish they wouldn't, because I need to kill 4 tanks for my goddamn mission.
Defend that point.
Do they mess around with stamina? I feel like I am getting tired quicker than I should. I hear another tank. Oh, hello. Yes, there's a tank right there, of course. And a King Tiger, too. Brilliant. March named, how about a pacifist playthrough of Foxhole instead? No shooting, just making stuff for transporting them to the shooter. I think that would be rather boring to watch. And Phoenix Point, I own it. I've never played it, not once, not for a single moment have I actually played it. Because it looked really cool, but then I heard it apparently didn't play very well. But I've also heard that it's apparently gotten a lot better, so... I probably should try Phoenix Point at some point. I probably should. Right, now, there is likely to be a long stream of Germans there. They weren't 2 Germans, but I did just spot 2 tanks. Huddled very close together. You do like to see that when you're carrying a 500-pound bomb strapped underneath your aircraft. Ugh, damn it. Did I at least get the damn thing? Yes, I did get the damn thing. Yes, well, I'll happily trade a P-47 for a King Tiger, so I'm not too much to complain about. But I did leave it for too long. Sadness. My favorite submachine gun. The best submachine gun in the whole game. It's a very good submachine gun. Uh-oh. See, normally, I would also always recommend, if you know there's somebody around the corner, you should always come out of the corner shooting. Because if you wait to open fire until you see the enemy, odds are he's going to have an equal opportunity to shoot you. Whereas if you're already shooting as you cross the corner, you are going to be firing first, which is good. However, sometimes there's not going to be anything behind the corner, in which case you've just wasted the majority of your ammunition shooting it to thin air. So, you know. There are things to be taken into consideration with this piece of tip as well, but by and large, I still would consider it a very good piece of tip. Yes. I don't even know why I'm bothering unlocking these Thompsons. There's no way the Thompson could be anywhere near as good as the best SMG in the video game, so I don't even really see the point. But yeah, they're there, so I suppose I should. Also, I do want this because it is adorable. I think it's probably gonna suck, but I do have an MG gunner that has a really bad gun. So here you... hiccups, here you go. Have a Bren. And on the, blah, 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 blah. Streamlabs, dashboard. Streamlabs, yes. Sandoom, 99, tips $50. Thank you very much, sir. Very generous. I feel sorrow for you, Arch, having to play Dustborn for those that funded it. Give this money to ease your suffering. Also, Fallout Equestria Fund. I am keeping track of my donations. That is good. So, Fallout Equestria Fund, right now, according to my back end, is at $160. And from what I've been told, it's fucking 2 days long. Now, part of me was going to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna charge you like $100 an hour or something. Too much. That's gonna be too much. I'll probably say like 500, and then we'll do Fallout Equestria. And I'll do it like in the background. Whenever I'm doing something else, I'll try to listen into it. Because fucking hell, like 40, 50 hours. Holy shit. It's going to take a while for me to get through. Let me just put it like that. Alright, let's try it the burn then. Carl Forever, Deepest World War II tank, BT-42 or the Mouse. You know, the Mouse wasn't necessarily technically theoretically a bad idea. It was simply a very, very, very heavily armored tank, which, considering how things were, you know, increasing in quantity and, caliber a lot, that made a certain amount of sense. The only problem was that there was not a single bridge in Europe, practically, that was rated to carry the damn thing, so, you know, that's a problem. The BT-42, that was the converted BT-5, wasn't it? It was like the 152mm howitzer or something. Or was it 105, I think? Yeah, big gun, small tank. Derpiest tank of World War II, though, might be the Kami, the Japanese amphibious boat. That one was pretty retarded. Ooh. Damn, this thing's got some fucking spread on it. Holy shit, boy. My God. Is that a human? That is not a human.
The answer.
Our forces are in position.
This is what I would like to refer to as a motherfucking musket. There are Germans down there. I can feel it.
Let's attack the next position.
Good. God. Ooh, though, one also has to note, so not necessarily just derpy in terms of appearance, but derpy in terms of appearance and intended purpose. The Panther tanks that were camouflaged to look like M10 tank destroyers. I always thought that was a very neat idea, you know? Because the Germans created Panther tanks, where they basically slapped some bits on the turrets and the hull here and there to make them look a lot like the American M10 tank destroyers. I don't know how effective it was. Like, I don't think it necessarily tricked all that many people, to be entirely honest. But it was a cute idea. It's a very cute idea. Also, this thing is definitely not as good as M2 Stinger. That's for sure. M2 Stinger way better. Oh. Noob tube. I do tremendously hate people who use noob tubes. And for once, I got lucky with my bullet spray. Perhaps the enormous spray of this thing actually saved me from that flamethrower. Perhaps. And there's a tiger camping way, way, way over in the gray zone.
Excellent. Move out to the next control point.
They really need to make the anti-tank weapon rarer again. They really do. Also, by the way, Sandoom, since the Dustborn thing was already funded by the time you donated, if you wish to give your donation to either the Snoot Fund or Witcher, just send me a message and we can do that instead, because, you know, no point in overfunding something, I suppose. Ah, P-47, yes. It's, piloted by Finnegan Fox, and yes, his forehead is really, really weird. Sujad, Phoenix Point is ball-busting hard. Don't bother with festering skies. Only performance issues are large creatures charging through shacks. Witcher. And small letter. That one probably got picked up. I mean, being hard is kind of the point of those games, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but... well, it depends. See, there are many types of difficulty. I quite enjoyed my time with Xenonauts too when I did that a little bit, and so then decided like, okay, let's wait for patches, because this is clearly a bit weird at the moment. I want to get back to that in the not too distant future, I hope, when they actually, you know, begin properly finishing it. But that one had a big balance issue. It's just carrying down a little smattering of that down there, which hits basically nothing. Ooh, hello. No, that is not an enemy aircraft because it just fired rockets, which means it's almost guaranteeably allied. But that is a tank. Which I would absolutely love to put a 500-pound bomb on. Let's see. Kablooey. Beautiful. 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 Beautiful indeed. The cleaners. So the cleaners are supposed to be like the human collaborators and stuff, untrained for military service, and yet they have a higher hit percentage than most of the aliens, and they certainly make your supposed professional military people look like absolute chumps. See, this is something that has always annoyed me about the XCOM games. Your guys are supposed to be recruited from the best of the best of the best of human militaries, like SAS, Navy SEALs, all of this shit, like the cream of the cream, Delta Force, Rangers, and yet their stats are always mediocre and shit. And I get that's partially for, you know, allowing room for growth, so as to level them up and so on. And also so that when you lose a veteran soldier, it's painful. I get that, but it really breaks the immersion to see this guy who served with the Special Air Service, etc., has a long and distinguished career, you know, an absolute badass hard-ass. And he's got like 3 action points, and he's got a 30% chance to hit an enemy standing 5 feet in front of him with a fucking belt-fed machine gun. Yeah. That always made me very sad indeed. Are you good? Eric, Arch, are you going to start your own version of 40k or fantasy? Well, it'll be a lot closer to fantasy. Smattering of rockets. Just didn't really catch anything. But I am making my own tabletop setting. In collaboration with Sargon, actually. But it'll play nothing like 40k. It will play absolutely nothing whatsoever like 40k. We've done multiple playtests of our tabletop setting already, and it plays nothing like 40k. Nothing at all. Like, there is virtually no resemblance. The only resemblance between our tabletop setting and 40k is that it uses D6 dice. That is literally the only thing that is similar. And in part, you know, that could be a bad thing, because 40k is clearly popular, so there you go, but there are so many parts of 40k that I fundamentally disagree with. Like, the fact that attacking is the only way to do anything, for example. Like, there is never really a situation in 40k where it is more advantageous to move than to shoot, for example. There is never a situation in which it will be better to flank an enemy instead of simply shooting them. Or charging them, potentially. What is in our tabletop setting, maneuvering is every bit as important as shooting, and maneuvering can destroy units, just like shooting can. In fact, a lot easier than shooting. Shooting a unit to pieces in our game is very hard. Wiping out a combat squad is fucking difficult. With all of the cover around, with all of the medics, with the fact that units aren't just walking around in giant clusters, with being able to move from cover to cover, it's difficult to kill a squad of soldiers. It is very, very hard. Is that a spawn point I see there, or is that a cart? I think that was a cart I just bombed. Oh well, right, well that wooden cart is feeling the full wrath of a 500-pound bomb, I guess. Boom, boom. No, I turned too early. Now I'm going to have to turn even more to get the ammunition. I have just not had a good, like, air game today. Normally, my air game's really, really good. Well, I had like 18 kills. Half of that was from infantry. Yeah. Come on, then, little tanky. Let's see if you're bomb-proof. Actually, yeah, I was about to say. I'm not going to attack that tank because it's surrounded by infantry, which means it's probably about to die anyways, and so me dropping a 500-pound bomb on it would be somewhat wasteful. Nice little bomb over there, just to discourage anyone from coming up and trying to get the point, and there you go. There was somebody there, and now they're no longer there. And obviously I will do lore videos on them, as we have created a lot of fluff for them as well. We've created some very cool factions, I think. Some very thought-provoking factions. We won! Yay! A part of me does wonder why I'm even bothering researching Thompson's SMGs. I've already got the best SMG in the game, the M2 heavy machine gun. But then again, a 50-round Thompson, you know, that might be a worthwhile replacement for the M2 carbine, potentially. The M2 carbine is good, but I don't feel like it's good enough. There's something... Battle Pass? Oh, have they changed the Battle Pass? My god, why did they do that? Sadly, I'm probably too busy to grind this Battle Pass. We won't purchase it today. No, I do not wish to leave the queue. Why am I doing this? That's a good question. Winchester Squad? No, that sounds gay. You know... Why? Why did you... What are you doing, game? What are you doing? There you go. Ah, stretchies. A sexy female faction? Well, sort of. We have not designed any, like, all-female factions yet. We haven't designed any, well... I guess, no, the Ashari would be unisex, probably. And the Guard as well. The Guard and the Ashari would both be unisex. The UAC, not so much. But here's the thing. The UAC's technology basically means that they have come to the point where they can craft themselves whatever they want. They can become whatever they want. Their plastic surgery is so effective that it's considered like going to the hairdresser, basically. So the entirety of UEC society is made up of nothing but movie stars, okay? Everyone looks like Tom Cruise, or Leonardo DiCaprio, or, oh god, what? Chick from Starship Troopers, what the fuck was her name? I don't remember now. God damn it. I don't remember now. But yes, that one. Everyone looks perfect. Everyone looks perfect. Like, attractive is no longer attractive. It is the baseline standard. Like, everyone is a supermodel in this world. Denise Richards, thank you, yes. And that means that, well, things like beauty have taken on a very different connotation. Now, being ugly is really weird. In fact, there is a punishment where if you do something really bad, because it doesn't really believe in prisms, this system. This is a very, I don't even know how to explain this off the bat, but one of the worst punishments available in this society is not execution. It is not like torture or anything like that. One of the worst punishments by far is grossification. I'll need to come up with like a nice fancy word for it, but basically it is making you ugly and taking away your access to the plastic surgery chambers and stuff like that. That is the worst conceivable punishment. Oh, what? Did I just get shot by allies? I am so confused. Were they enemy? Okay. It's like I just walked past those dudes like 5 times and they didn't shoot me and I thought they were British or something. Confused now. Weird. Oh, paratroopers. I see. Okay. So they came from above and I was as confused by their appearance as they were by mine, I guess. Well, that was absolutely awful as I was wandering around talking instead of actually pushing towards the objective and getting some kills there. Dumb. Oh. It's gonna be another low earning game, isn't it? Everybody's dying too fucking quick. I hate it. I hate it when everybody dies quick.
Enemy bombers are approaching.
Enemy bombers. I do like enemy bombers. I do like enemy bombers a lot. Wait. Am I? Oh, I'm not the aircraft I thought I was, am I? No, I'm not. Well, shit. Right. Where do bombers spawn on this map? Probably not over there. Oh, over there. Nice. So yes, there will be plenty of hot females in that army, but they might not be the kind of hot females you'd really like to get to know. They might actually be horrible human beings. In fact, they are likely to be extraordinarily horrible human beings. All of them. Which is, of course, why one of our hero characters will be an interesting one. Uriel Veska is his working name at the moment, and he never bought into the whole prettification thing, so he just looks ugly. He's a plump, fat little dude with warts and everything. What the what? My fucking game stopped responding to my controls there for a moment. It was like my mouse disconnected. What the hell? You're being weird. You're being weird, little mouse. You're being dumb. This is still 2 kills. Well, but I killed like 2 bombers, so that's all you need. He will also, incidentally, be one of very few actually competent people in the UEC. As the UEC will hire based on political lines far more often than it hires based on competency. As a faction, it does not put much stock in competency. How did you not get killed by the flamethrower?
Our forces are in position.
There's 1 load of shotgun left. Right, put that there in case anybody else wants to wander over this way. Like that guy, for example. Fucking really. Oh god, I hope they remove fucking mines from this game. I really do. There are 2 things they need to scale back enormously in this game. One is anti-tank weapons. Which, back in the day, anti-tank weapons used to be really rare. Like, even something like a Panzerfaust used to be stupendously rare, and a Panzerschreck even more so. I miss those days. When the primary anti-tank weapon was a demolition charge. I miss those days so much.
We need artillery support.
Because it meant that tanks were able to actually be offensive. Tanks could move up and try to, you know, play the game, in essence. But now that everyone and their grandmother has a bazooka, pretty much all tanks do is sit back at maximum distance in the gray zone, lobbing HE onto the objective. And they do that because if they do anything else but that, they're just going to die. If a tank ever moves forward, the tank dies. And that's kind of why I don't necessarily blame the tanks for doing it. But it's not a fun and engaging gameplay system for anyone involved whatsoever. And there's an AI over there that shot my previous machine gunner. And I know it's an AI because on the thing... Ah, for the love of... Well, I mean, I'd love to go kill enemy bomber, so... because on the replay, after you die, normally you then get to see who shot you. Unless it's an AI and it's in a position where you literally can't see them because they saw you through an enormous piece of cover, which the AI does. And mines. The fucking anti-personnel mines need to just be taken out because they're free kill. I use them. Everybody else used them. Everyone uses the mines because the mines are literally free kills. If you place them even half decently correctly, you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least 1 kill per mine. And if you don't get a kill per mine, who the fuck cares? They're literally free. You carry one just with you at all times, so they don't really matter. They don't decrease your capabilities in any way, so there is absolutely no reason whatsoever to not put down an anti-personnel mine whenever you have a second and whenever you're in an area that is even slightly likely to be passed through by an enemy. And this fact that they are instant kills that cannot be detected, like you can't see them. Well, you can see them, but they're very, very tiny and spotting them is pretty damn close to impossible. And there is no skill to find them. It just makes them little fucking nightmares. It makes them too good for what they are. Hello there, tanky wanky. Let's just detrack the shit out of you and rocket you right in the flank. Nice and simple. That is an enemy fighter coming in behind me and... Well, never mind. He somehow lagged his bullet into my cockpit. So I'm looking at his tracers and going like, okay, you're way off. Except if you take into consideration that what you see in-game and what the server sees are two different things. The enemy's bullets may not be where you see the enemy's bullets. Before we worry about anything else, we're of course going to kill you. Partially as a petty act of revenge, partially because you're a fucker wolf and you will fucking murder me. And hey, my randomly dumped rockets killed some stuff anyway, so happy. That might overshoot a little bit. No, never mind. Was that a Möbelwagen? No, it must have been a Panther or something. Probably. Normally, by the way, I would recommend you don't shoot the tank you're about to bomb, because shooting the tank will warn you that there's an aircraft closing in on him, which will cause him to maneuver. However, if you're side on, shoot the tank, because you are probably going to detrack the tank, which means that even if the tank wishes to move, he is going to be incapable of moving. That's a friendly. Don't need to worry about ourselves about him. Inquisitor Thomas, definitely not escaped it. Have you done war crimes yet? And how many? I've only shot a few wounded people, so not too many.
Service guarantees citizenship.
I hear an engine. No, she's probably just my own. Okay. Lord of Opossum, have you seen the latest Space Marine 2 trailer? Why does every Warhammer game have to have chaos? I just wanted to fight space bugs for 10 hours. Well, there might be. Okay, so there might be. One reason is that Chaos is popular. Because Space Marines are popular. Because everybody likes power armor. That's probably the most likely reason. Another reason might be that... Where am I even being... Oh, it is there somebody behind... There must be somebody behind me that's been following me for the last 5 minutes. Because I've been scanning for aircraft and I haven't seen anything, so... Right, well, I'm just going to... Oh, yes, he's definitely behind me. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to... And he shot my fucking car. God damn it. I've had bad luck with being followed so far, as I was checking around me, like, okay, I hear an engine. Where is he? Literally behind me for the last 10 minutes, probably. Just slowly closing in. You know what would be nice in this game? A sixth sense for aircraft. I would actually kind of like that. Some sort of thing. This is going to be mine to fucking back. You think you can stop my favorite SMG by sitting in a firing thing? Well, that's where you're wrong. AI, please shoot him. Thank you. AI, please, no? In case you were wondering, yes, the AI in this game is absolutely, unironically, motherfucking, unfathomably atrocious. It is beyond bad. At the same time, it's also beyond good, because if it's actually got you tracked, it will fucking headshot nail your ass from the next galaxy. Because all it does is roll a dice to see if it hits you or not, and then it applies the result. But in a situation like that, where you come in behind the AI, holy shit. As a dude comes in, shoots every single fucking person I have, then goes back to reload, only to shoot every single person else I've got. And not once did the AI turn around to actually engage the fucking dude. When the AI wants to be bad, oh god. It's a whole different kind of bad. Okay. Get back in there and keep putting down mines. How did he even get in this room? I guess he ran in past there, probably.
Artillery!
Get shot. Well, shit. Well, at least I got something on the bombing run, so that's nice. Or, alternatively, you know how GW requires you to purchase a separate license for everything you want to have in your game? This is the thing GW does. Where if you want Space Marines, you have to purchase the license for Space Marines. If you want Chaos, you need to purchase the license for Chaos, and so on. This is how GW milks not only its customers, but everyone else as well. It's a very progressive pricing strategy that they've got. Hello there, AI.
Hey, my magazine's empty. Reloading.
Very progressive pricing strategy that punishes everyone equally, more or less. And it might be that they've got different price points. That would kind of be my theory for why you see some things so often and other things not at all. That they are literally like, okay, the Space Marines cost a lot because they're the most popular, so you're gonna need to pay up for them. And the Tyranids are maybe like even more expensive, or maybe like the, I don't know, like they've got some weird procedure where the less popular ones are more expensive, or you can't get like a deal on them or something. Because it does seem weird how you always see the exact same factions in essence. Ooh, nice. A spawn point.
My magazine's empty. Reloading.
We always like free spawn points, they're tasty. Nice. Ha. Actually, Gwimibus also provided a good answer. Multiplayer, that's why. Yeah, that might be why too. Simply because it's going to be a lot easier to balance if they've got basically just the same faction, yeah. Whereas if they had to actually do some asymmetry, well, that would be difficult. And we wouldn't want difficult, now would we? No. We wouldn't want this to be hard in any way. That would be terrible. No. We need to have this to be as banally simplistic a video game as possible. And, you know, asynchronous balance, you know, that's just not fun. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes it. It requires too much effort to balance, yes. Also allows them to sell more Traitor Legion power armor, I guess, which is, again, everybody knows, everybody loves power armor. A little bit too much. People love power armor way too much. Don't know why. I will never research you, little Browning, because you are worthless to me. I already have the M2 Stinger, the best SMG in the video game. Let's see. Flabby connected recently. Maybe he's online. It might also be, I would wager because the Tyranids are probably better for PvE, aren't they? Yeah, probably. Is Flabby Friend there? Flabby Friend is... not there. Flabby Friend is dead. Frank Zappas. I don't think I remember him yet. Because they would make for a very good PvE enemy. Oh, there he is. Nice. Well, that was quick. They would make for a very nice PvE enemy. In a way that Chaos, I guess, wouldn't. Keep on with the M2 Stinger SMG. The Orcs, too, made a good PvE enemy in the first one. You know what we need, though? We need a Battlefield 40k game. We've always needed a Battlefield 40k game. Yet, for some reason, we've never been given one. Which is kind of tragic and retarded. Right. We are on the defensive. That means that we are going to be spending the opening moments of this game simply placing down loads and loads of mines. And wondering why the AI isn't shooting. Go fucking cut. What? Really? Like a grenade exploded somewhere, destroyed my last sliver of fucking HP. Come on, where's the team? How the hell are we being overrun this early on this fucking map? What the goddamn hell? Did everyone run back to put down spawn points or something? Well, that was incredibly bad. Holy shit, how the fuck did that happen? How did we get rolled off that point in 5 seconds? That tends to be kind of a difficult point to capture, but apparently not today. Worst part is, most of the jumpers were coming across the open, so if we'd simply had a tank player or anything like that, they would all have died. Yeah. Oh. I must admit, I was not aware that you could try to take off the runway with those dumb little aircraft there. I didn't think you could. Now I know that apparently you can. Apparently you can. Interesting. Huh. I guess that's something they added recently, the ability to take off in the tiny little double-deckers. Nice. You will obviously be first priority because you are probably a fighter or something. Yep, okay, I might already be doomed because he is going to outturn me by a hilarious margin, but I did hit him once, so he's already going to be put down in his performance. Game is already running. Yes, I'm aware of that. He's doing the ancient, well-tried and well-tested War Thunder strategy of simply wiggling his mouse aggressively. And it almost worked out well for him. God damn, we're getting absolutely violated. Alright, killed something there. Not much of something. Huh. Apparently the server is having a bit of a problem. That must be what happened last game when I was like, why can't I control my video game? Up there in the top right corner, you can see that the server is having a connection issue. Oh well, that makes a certain amount of sense, I guess, yeah. Very well. Maybe that's why people could get in the aircraft, because the servers were being weird. Right, so there are Doritos indicating that the bad people are over there. It's not really a very good strafing target. I think... Nope, enemy, no enemy. Enemy, allied aircraft. Nothing. Well, we're doing a lot better in checking them on the second point. Okay, to return to the point about Warhammer Battlefield, you make hero characters, just like the Star Wars game, because that was a really cool idea. Make it so that people can unlock a Space Marine. You can get a Space Marine, and he's going to absolutely wreck ass with his fully automatic grenade launcher and shit. But once you get him, you need to get so and so many kills, get up points, like make a little shop front, basically, for the super units. And then probably with some obvious cooldowns and stuff. That was an enemy aircraft that zoomed past me. There he is. Is that a... That's a dual engine thing, isn't it? Yes, it is, which means I can actually outturn that. It's pretty rare for the P-47 to be more maneuverable than its enemy, but in the case of most double-wingers, it actually is. Fun fact, despite its shitty reputation, the BF, was it the BF or the Messerschmitt? The Hemi? BF? The 110. Was that a Bayerische Flugkraftwerks or a Messerschmitt? I've actually fucking forgotten now. I think it was a BF 110, wasn't it? Yeah. That thing was actually really good. It performed, well, it performed extraordinarily well, actually. It got like 100 to 1 kill rate over France. Like, it was wrecking ass, like nobody's business. But it was moved away from because of the idea that it wasn't going to be a good fighter because it wasn't very maneuverable. It was intended to be a kind of a long-range escort fighter to heavy fighter to deal with enemy bombers. Yet it turned out to be an excellent fighter, actually. And not until the war was over did we really manage to figure out why, as the entire design philosophy for every nation, basically, when it came to fighters, turned out to be incorrect. There's an enemy. We are going to stick on his ass for a little bit. See, every nation had pretty much thought about fighters in the same way, or he could just kill himself. That's an alternative as well. Oh, I keep thinking I'm piloting a P-47. I don't know why. Fuck me, I did it again. Whoops, I did it again. I played with your heart, and you thought I was going to drop a 500-pound bomb, and I didn't. I'll just sweep that area with some rockets. Got nothing. But yes, everybody thought about fighters the wrong way. Everyone, the Americans, the British, the Germans, the Russians, all thought that the point of a fighter would be to dogfight an enemy fighter, because that was the lessons learned during the First World War, that the more maneuverable aircraft usually won out over the less maneuverable aircraft. Because, you know, he could outturn it, get on its tail, and then shoot it down. Simple as. However, that was because the aircrafts were all roughly the same speed. That was the limiting factor. If all of the aircrafts are just about as fast as one another, then yes indeed, whichever aircraft could get behind the other aircraft was going to have a serious advantage. But that only mattered if you got into a dogfight in the first place. And the way to never actually get into a dogfight was simply to be a lot faster than your opponent. If you could zoom down at 100 kilometers faster than your enemy could travel, then take a pot shot at him before zooming back out again, still at a speed far greater than the enemy, then there would never be an opportunity for a dogfight. And whoever had the greatest speed could simply just do this again and again and again and again, with no limiting factor beyond fuel, that is. That is what we figured out after the war was over, that the faster an aircraft was, the better a fighter it was, and the agility, frankly, was largely irrelevant. This is also the lesson that the Japanese learned, as the Japanese produced the single most maneuverable fighter in the entire world. World, yes. The Japanese Zero, of course, which absolutely outclassed all the early Allied aircraft by an enormous degree, but then couldn't do shit against anything else. Once the next generation of Allied aircraft came in, suddenly the Zero was helpless, because if it got behind the enemy aircraft, what the aircraft would do was simply just turn its nose down and fucking leave. There you go. That's a KT, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. All hits, all direct hits to side armor as well. That might have set him on fire. Yep, because the little white thing is ticking, so he is on fire. That might actually be enough to kill him. Yes, it was. Nice. So I don't want to say, KT. Knocking out a KT with rockets is very hard. You basically need to get them at the side and preferably rear, because if you can set them on fire and the guy who's in the KT doesn't react immediately, then he is going to burn to pieces, which is quite nice. Now, the data was also complicated, however, by the fact that a lot of double-engine fighters did extraordinarily poorly. Now, usually this was because they didn't understand the idea of boom and zoom, and also because they didn't actually make the aircraft all that much more powerful. You see, the idea was, to begin with, that if you've got two engines, then you've got an aircraft that's twice as powerful, right? And if you've got an aircraft that's twice as powerful, then you've got an aircraft that's twice as fast, right? Well, no. The math wasn't quite that simple. Simply slapping two engines on a thing did not mean that you had twice the speed, because we didn't understand things like air drag, for example, fuel efficiency, and obviously the added weight on the aircraft meant that more often than not, the double-engine aircraft were fast, but not fast enough. And I am feeling impact upon the rear of my fuselage. Is it an aircraft? Not that I can see. And the impact stopped, which probably means it was ground fire. Somebody with an SMG pointing it towards the sky and holding down the button. Which is a good thing, which you should do. You'd be surprised how much damage a 9mm bullet will do to an aircraft in this game. Spoiler alert, far too fucking much. This was the design philosophy behind things like the Beaufighter, for example, or the was it the Mosquito? The British had this big, fat, dumb two-engine heavy fighter / bomber, where the entire idea would be, quite simply, that it would be immune to fighters by being stupid fast. So it would zoom in on down, get away from any fighters, any ground fire, and then zoom on out of the way. Ooh. That was a snipe and a fucking half right there. Entirely intentional, of course. That was careful consideration that would produce that result that you just saw. Right, so there's an AA gun behind there, I think. So I'm just going to throw a splattering of rockets behind there and be rewarded handsomely for doing so. Where did that enemy aircraft go? Was he picked off by my friend? Probably, otherwise I should have spotted him by now. And to begin with, it was actually... Hello? No, you're still my friend, huh? Are there... Did one of my allies in the tiny double decker actually get away? Because I feel like there's more allies in the air than there should be. Oh. And to begin with, it was actually fast enough to outrun the fighters, which led to a brief period of time in which people believed that the way to make bombers was to make them fast. The Germans fell for this as well, by the way, with the Ju-188 and the Heinkel 111, and to some degree the Stuka as well, which like, oh, if it's just like really fast, then it'll be good, right? No, because again, we forgot about the weight. If you're going to strap 500 kilograms of bombs to something, then it's going to be slow. And if it's going to be slow, then the entire survival strategy about being fast somewhat falls right out the motherfucking window, doesn't it? It's remarkable how many seemingly obvious things people just didn't think of back in the day, and I mean, to be fair, that's what's because today, it's common knowledge. Today, everybody knows that a heavy thing flies slower than a light thing. Derp. But that was not common knowledge at one point. Today, everyone knows that a gun that fires lots of bullets in the same magazine is going to be better than a gun that fires very few bullets in the same magazine. But that too was not common knowledge for a while. In fact, if anything, common knowledge was what was defeating a lot of the points there. For example, it was considered to be a foregone conclusion that bombers would completely replace fighters entirely. Because fighters couldn't really, win a war. All they could do was, inconvenience the other side's ability to win a war. That was what people thought. People thought that bombers could eventually fly so high, so fast, and carry so many guns that it would be basically impossible for a fighter to attack a bomber. It would be suicide. If they could even get to the bomber, as it would be flying in the fucking stratosphere or whatever, right? And so people didn't really focus all that much time and effort on making fighters. Turns out this was a silly thing to think, and fighters were probably the single most decisive part of any nation's air force because they allowed your aircraft to do whatever the hell they wanted and denied the enemy aircraft the ability to do whatever the hell they wanted. Many, many silly assumptions have been made throughout the history of warfare. These were but a few of them. I keep hitting one person with like one shell or 20mm cannon fire and not killing them somehow.
The enemy is rushing the control point.
And that same guy with the machine gun keeps pointing it at the sky to inconvenience me, which he does do. Is that a repair point? Have they added... Oh, they've added airfields onto the map. Have they? Or wait, no, haven't they? I thought I saw a repair field over in that direction. And then it disappeared. Oh. Confused. 20 seconds to go. Okay. Now, if I've got only 20 seconds left to live in this incarnation of myself, I shall spend them... there we go. Trying to get the guy I've repeatedly wounded with 20mm cannon fire, because I feel like he deserves to be put out of his misery. Rock for 20 Canadian dollars, thank you very much, sir. Happy my birthday, Arch. For my wish, I desire that you detransition Gibbs, because it makes Jesus cry. Been watching since Ogre Lore, and hope you survive the forthcoming race war. Desu Desu Senpai Banzai. Thank you very much. Oh, don't worry. I don't think the upcoming race war is going to be as bad as we think it is. I think it's going to be a fairly calm and relaxed event. Yes, a calm and relaxed event. Yes, I think so. How much was it for the battle pass thingy? How much was it for that? 900? I don't want to spend 900. I don't want to spend 900 gold on that. No, don't feel like it. Far more interesting is going to be the upcoming war against the robots. That'll be interesting. Or the upcoming war against the Trudens. So many upcoming wars. God. I tell you, though, the election season this time around, oh boy. No matter who wins, it's going to be a feisty over in the US. Ooh, real feisty. I do think the Trumphalophagus is probably the safest bet for a relative continuation of peace and stability, but Kamala, oh yeah. She had a recent interview with CNN that was particularly fascinating, as apparently it was going on for like 48 minutes, report says. And they only released like 17 or 18 minutes of it that I could find, and the rest appears to just simply be missing, which is a tiny bit sus. Oh, God, Lord Almighty, this map. As the Allies, huh? Well, this is going to be uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. They also labeled it as a live interview, even though it was recorded. I'm looking forward to the debate on the 10th of, September next month? It's still next month, right? Yeah. It'll be quite interesting to see, because Kamala does not seem to be particularly, good at off-the-cuff thinking, shall we say. But at the same time, she could... I am a little bit worried, because, Trump has a lot of expectations on him. Now, not only Trump has a lot of expectations on him when it comes to debate performances. Let's park this right about here. Because he has done very well in the past. He did extraordinarily well against Biden this preceding time, for example, because, well, he managed to literally delete his opponent's entire campaign, an achievement that's pretty rare. I can't think of many instances throughout political history in general, or American political history, where one candidate has actually been able to remove another candidate from the ballot box with a single debate. Don't think that has happened before. So that increased the expectations. He did very well against Hillary back in the day, and he's just by and large been a surprisingly solid debate performer. But this also, on the flip side, means that the expectation of his enemy grows lower and lower, as people tend to attribute this, almost subconsciously, more to how shitty his opponents are, rather than how good of a debater Trump is. And to be fair, by and large, that is probably an accurate assessment, as Trump's debate skills on a theoretical basis are nothing to really write home about. It's just that he has a good way of being loud and effective, which is often all you need in a debate stage to be considered the winner. One of the as I swallow my own fucking dust, to be a winner. Damn, somebody cleared house around here. Also, I saw a tank out there, but my anti-tank dude has been killed, so... Damn. Damn. Poor that guy. You will not resist the authority of my SMG. So I do fear that all Kamala is really going to have to do to be, as far as the Democrats are concerned at the very least, the winner of this debate is not shit herself live on television. If she somehow manages to not actually defecate herself into a fucking stupor, that's going to be good enough. And that is going to make... oh god, I am dead. that is going to be enough for the Democrats to look at her and go, well, she's way better than Joe Biden. See, Joe Biden was too old. And since now we have switched our NPC chips to Joe Biden was too old, what are you on about? Well, Trump is, of course, too old as well. And the problem is, they will have a point when they say that, because yes, Joe Biden was too old. Trump, well, he's close to the same age, so you could levy the same complaint against him, but there's also a serious differential in energy between the two. Trump might be approaching the same age, but he still clearly has way more Trump left in him. But, as we so often say, it is good that the left has a double standard, for otherwise it should have none at all. And it will definitely be a tool they'll use to try and beat him over the head with. Oliver Nord, giving Trump too much credit here, Biden would have erased himself against an empty room, which, potentially, possibly, it's conceivable. But I'm not sure, because you can have a lot of curated appearances that will all work out. Where is the goddamn objective, by the way? I only see repair points for some reason. Oh, that is the objective. Okay, we're having a bit of a derp today. Oh, yep, I see up in the top right corner again, the connection thingy popped up there for a moment. Oh, boy. Not enough kills. Need more kills. But like in a curated appearance, Biden was doing just fine. In curated appearances the day thereafter, after the debate, he was doing just fine. When you can prop him up on a... Shit, I saw it too late there. When you can prop him up on a stage and just have him be on a stage, even Biden can perform fairly well. Any candidate can perform fairly well with a list of speaking points in front of them. It is when you add the extra pressure of a live opponent and the need to perform that you see people start to get shaky and break. So I do think Trump definitely was a major contributing factor to his collapse. I'm very lucky that BF-109 is injured, otherwise I would already be dead, but he might already have killed me just by that tiny bit of damage he introduced to me, as my fuel tank is currently leaking, which is not great. There we go. At least I got my revenge. Well, at least I got my revenge. If only there was a carrier around here I could sit down on. And Wrath, now, I want to see alt history modern day in which research was focused more towards flying fortresses than towards fighters. I mean, that was in essence the B-17 and the B-24, the Strato Fortress. That was basically what that was. Oil leak. Oil leak is going to be a problem. Oh, is that another aircraft behind me? Judging by the stream of bullets, yes it is. Okay. Kill, soldier. I like to be killed in the open air. It's nicer. What? But I have created a spawn point. Oh, active battle near spawn point. Well, gosh darn it. Never mind. Over here then. And I think we've kind of had that too, like, I don't remember the name of it now, but I'm pretty sure there was like a game where you fought like war blimps and stuff like that. Oh, really now? It's like, okay, yeah, I'm just slightly off to the wrong side there. I'm like, My luck today has not been very good in this game. Not very good at all. And I was killed by the same guy again. Oh, beautiful. Brilliant. Fantastic. Very well. Very good. Very good indeed. Terrible, terrible, unfortunate sadness. I haven't had good luck in the air, haven't had good luck on the ground. What a terrible day. Ah, motherfucker. And of course, there are going to be multiple squads of dudes right up in front of me. In fact, there's going to be a spawn point right up in front of me there somewhere. Judging by the sheer number of dudes. Oh yeah, there's definitely a spawn point up there somewhere. Holy shit, Bren. Could you... What the... Shooting. Bren. Bren, aim. Jesus. I'm starting to think the Johnson LMG might actually be a better gun than the Bren. My god.
Artillery support!
Roger that!
It's certainly no A&M2, that's for damn certain. Hello, AI. As I get shot through multiple bushes.
My magazine's empty! Reloading!
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not getting across this open field. Yeah, they've definitely got a spawn point over there, which I would love to go and try to destroy, but judging by the sheer number of the little shit spawning, I doubt that's gonna work out. And there's a tank covering it too, of course. Crimson Skies, yes chat, that was the one. Now let's go fishing for a spawn point. Alright, so the hordes of Germans were coming from something like... Nice. That is a fighter, which means that my... Oh, and I've got a second aircraft on my ass. Right, nice. Okay, that is an ME... Right, if I can cut in front of him, I can. Alright. Damn it, no.
Our forces are in position.
Slow back down again. Damn it. Does he know what he's doing, or is he just lucky? Oh, he does know what he's doing. He's not just lucky. But... Okay. Combat flaps. I managed to scissor him. He was cutting his... Oh, but no, he is just lucky, because he hit my engine in that first pass. Which means my engine is eventually going to give out. Right, no, he does know what he's doing, because I managed to scissor him, he managed to cut his speed. He cut his speed hard to try and keep behind me. But he cut it a little bit too hard, and he lost maneuverability. So now I am behind him, and I managed to tag him. Okay. Need to deal with him before I worry about the other fighter. Okay, he's almost certainly dealt with. Yep, there he goes. The other fighter seems to have fucked off. Good. We're dropping a little bomb down there, and my oil again. God damn it. Why do they keep hitting my fucking oil tank? That was a lovely example of how to scissor someone, however. Yes. That's an official term, scissoring. It's when you drop your airspeed and you turn hard left and right to try and keep yourself out of the enemy's guns, whilst trying to force them to overshoot. It is pretty much the only strategy you've got if you're flying something less maneuverable than your opponent in this game. You need to try and get them to overshoot. Anything else is pretty much suicide. That looks hostile. That's because it is hostile. He does have a rear gunner, which is a little bit shitty. Especially as I'm gonna have to drop a lot of speed to get behind him. Right, he's cooked. Rear gunners in this game vacillate wildly between being unbelievably useless, and I am dead, yep, I can hear the fighter's engine, being unbelievably useless, and being unbelievably amazing. Right, if I can keep myself in the air just a little bit longer, I'd like to put a bomb down right around there, yep. Nice, another 3 kills. Between absolute godhood and absolute uselessness, I used to have the Ju-188 in this game as my fighter bomber, because its guns, its automated guns, were actually really, really good. You could absolutely use that aircraft as a de facto fighter by simply flying around nearby enemies. Is there anybody on the mill? There is not. In that case, we are going to mine the mill. Yeah, lucky little bitch. And then they nerfed the shit out of it, and now it's largely useless. Like, that thing can't hit the broadside of the barn anymore. $4,000 points? Decent enough, I guess. Decent enough. Right, I do have some things I actually need to do today, so we're gonna have a nice short stream now. A nice relaxing short stream. As I try to remember what key brings up the goddamn picture. There we go. But thank you very much for the games, those of you from the chat who joined us today in-game. Thank you for everybody for watching, and thank you for your generous donations, which has indeed seen Dustborn be funded. So, I'll probably get started on that next week, probably, I imagine. Dustborn? Now, luckily, I have a new artist who is really, 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 really fast, because normally, anything like this, it would be at least a week before I could get anything done. But new artist is stupendously fast, so I can probably get it done for next week, yes. Aren't you lucky, chat? Aren't you happy? Aren't you pleased with yourselves? Until then, or, well, until ArchCast tomorrow, more correctly, have a very good night, everyone.